What is going on, family? And welcome back to another episode of Quick Coffee Talk. And today's topic is of course about the thing that I posted earlier, which is it's not the events of our lives that shape us. It's our interpretation of what those events mean. And so let me give you an example, and one that you could probably relate to very well. Let's just say you're trying to lose weight. And you step on the scale and you fluctuate. Well, it's not the fluctuation that determines what you do after that. It's the meaning that you've attached to the scale fluctuation that determines what happens and where you ultimately go, right? Because what do most people do is they're super motivated. They really want to make a change, and they're willing to do everything that they can to make that change. But then the moment something doesn't go their way, because they failed so many times in the past, the moment, the first sight of something going wrong is usually the moment that they quit, right? And so we have to control what things actually mean. And of course, that takes some education, that takes some practice. Like, obviously, if you've been around my stuff for a while, you know that I talk extensively about being focused on the process and not the outcome. Now, of course, your process has to be something that actually works, something that's in alignment with things that you want to do. It's in alignment with the person that you want to become. But at the same time, if your process is dialed in, the only thing that you really have to do is focus on that and not the outcome, because the outcome will drive you nuts, right? But think about how many times you do that on an everyday, every moment basis, where you've attached certain meanings to things. And because of the meanings that you've attached, it forces you to take an action that's not good for you. So let's give another example. One of the things that we deal with a lot is emotional eating, right? Most of our members are emotional eaters. That's just how it is, right? And with emotional eating, it's not emotionally eating steak, it's emotionally eating sugar and junk food. Well, most people, when they start with us, they've attached certain meanings to certain things. So for example, they feel like, okay, whenever I'm having an emotional moment, so I had a stressful day at work, I always eat bad food, right? That's the meaning that you've attached to it. Your brain recognizes, okay, when you're stressed, you eat junk food. And so that's what you get. And because of the meaning that you've attached to it, that becomes your pattern. That becomes the things that you do on a daily basis. And that's what makes it so hard to get over it. Okay? So with that being said, number one, we have to break that pattern, which is, it always is funny to me because people are like, I just felt I'm having such a weak moment right now and I really want to do this. Well, that's your brain trying to let it leave your system, but you keep trying to reel it back in, right? You have to let that go. The more that you don't give in, the easier it's going to become. Okay, let me offer you one more example, and we'll use like a life example. We've all gone through some crap, right? And I'll just use my uncle for an example. My uncle recently passed away, and he was like my best friend. He was like my brother, love him to death. We grew up together, and I don't know what else I could say about that. Someone who's very meaningful to me. Well, he passed, and for a lot of people, in his friends, his family, my family, obviously, they used it as a reason to not do something, right? To not get together because he's not there. To not call people more often because he's not there. To not experience and laugh at certain things because he's not there. Whereas I looked at it as, this is a reason to be more involved. This is a reason to smile more, because he would have wanted that, right? And so the meaning that I attach to that situation is a meaning of, man, this means that we should be closer because we don't know when our last day is. This is a meaning that we shouldn't carry hate in our hearts, because we can go at any moment and we want to live our days hating something or someone, right? We want to live our days not smiling, not enjoying each other's company. That's what we want. That was what I attached to it. And because of that, it's different outcomes, right? So whereas some people are carrying hate in their hearts and they either are mad at life or mad at people or hate others, I decided to love more. I decided to not carry hate in my heart. I decided to apologize to people that I never thought I would apologize to, all because of the meaning I attached, and therefore the outcome is different. So the message to you today is, what meaning are you attaching to something, especially when it comes to your weight loss? When something bad happens, are you using it as a reason to not continue down the path? Or are you using it as a reason to, like, this is why I need to do it? When you're weighing in, when you're taking your measurements, are you attaching a slight fluctuation as a meaning of you're a failure? Or are you looking at it as just data? And the meaning is, hey, I'm just collecting the data, and with data I can make better decisions. That is what's going to determine your outcome. It's nothing else. It's not the events of our lives. It's not the things that happen to us. It's the meanings that we attach that will determine where we go. Love you guys.